Alright, what's up guys? Brand new video today. This is one that's been requested so much. You guys have always asked me for Blue Eyes combos, so I'm just going to do a nice big compilation for you guys. These are all different kinds of Blue Eyes combos that you should know. If you play Blue Eyes, you should know these combos. Integrate them into your deck as much as possible. Just because they give you a lot of advantage. They allow you to play quite a few different cards. But again, you know, this is for the Blue Eyes players. And if you enjoy this video, please subscribe. I do a lot of Blue Eyes content, and of course, even if you don't subscribe, like the video because it helps quite a bit. But let's get started. All you need for this combo is a copy of White Stone of Legend and the World Legacy Guardragon. You could probably even do it with something else, but you know, this combo is pretty sick. So we're going to use the White Stone of Legend and World Legacy Guardragon. This basically is like a monster reborn for level 4 lower dragons, and it lets you move a column, and this lets us continuously search Blue Eyes. So we're going to summon the White Stone of Legend. We're going to link it away to summon a copy of Link Kaiba or any Link one that points down. It'll automatically activate to search us a copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then we're going to activate the effect of World Legacy Guardragon. We're going to special summon the White Stone of Legend in our graveyard to any zone. Next, we're going to link that card away in order to special summon a copy of LP. And this is going to, again, activate, add us a Blue Eyes automatically. Then we are going to activate the effect of World Legacy Guardragon to move our LP over by one space. So basically, Link Kaiba and the LP are now pointing to the same spot. We can activate the LP in order to special summon a Black Metal Dragon. We used to special summon the Darkness Metal Dragon, but now we special summon the Black Metal Dragon because Darkness Metal Dragon has an errata, and Black Metal Dragon searches Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon in addition to being a level 4 or lower dragon, so we can actually go into Pisty with it. So we're going to link away the Black Metal Dragon in order to summon Pisty. Then we're going to activate Black Metal Dragon Engrave in order to add a copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to hand. Now we're going to special summon the Darkness Metal Dragon by banishing LP. Summon the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Then we're going to activate the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to summon a copy of White Stone of Legend from our graveyard, which will allow us to search for our last and final Blue Eyes. Now we're going to special summon using our copy of a White Stone of Legend and Link Kaiba into a protector. It's basically the Buster Blade or Link 2, but it's generic and it's a dragon, so you can summon it under the guard dragons. And then it's going to ask us to activate an effect. You can activate the Protector Whelp of Destruction Swordsman if you're going second, because going second, this card's not really that important. You can send away your a dragon lock, your Buster lock away, because going second does nothing, and make sure you draw stuff off the Suryuja that you actually need. So you can send it to the graveyard, but it's not necessary here. We're going to add a last copy of Blue Eyes. We're going to activate the effect of Pisty to summon a White Stone of Legend in defense mode right there. And now we have 4 monsters. We're going to go into our copy of Suryuja. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to summon a Suryuja. Now, you saw for a split second there, it showed an image of the White Stone of Legend. White Stone of Legend is actually a mandatory activation. It has to activate. Even if you can't fulfill the requirements of the card during the time of activation, it must activate. So, White Stone of Legend is always going to be Chainlink 1. Then, we're going to make sure the Chainlink 2 is going to be the Suryuja Skull Dread Dragon. So, Suryuja is going to be Chainlink 2. Suryuja is going to resolve first because it's the second Chainlink. So Suryuja is going to activate second, and we're going to put the 3 Blue Eyes at the bottom of our deck. And now, the White Stone of Legend, which activated first, which was mandatory, has Blue Eyes in the deck to add, so we get to add a copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon. So it's a bit complicated there, but basically, the White Stone of Legend always has to be Chainlink 1, even if it can activate, it has to activate. Like, even if you have the cards in your hand, it still has to activate. And then it resolves just because the Blue Eyes that we put the Blue Eyes back into our deck, and then it allows the Blue Eyes to be able to add it to our hand because it's now an available target in the deck. So it's a cool little way, just using the chain links where we can extend our combo. But basically now we can use the Suryuja Skull Dread to special summon a copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon, and from here on in, you can actually just kind of, if you have like another level 8 or something, if you drew something different. I loaded the top of my deck with these cards, I loaded the top of my deck with cards that don't advance my combo because I really wanted the main 2 cards to shine. But this is basically a +4 draw, but you could, like, let's say you got level 8s, you can go into like Hope Harbinger, stuff like that if you wanted to. But we're actually going to just continue our combo from here. We're going to Link away the Blue Eyes and the Surya Skuldred to go into a copy of Romulus. We're going to activate Romulus to add Divine Lance. Divine Lance we're going to activate it to attach to Romulus. Then we're going to activate the Divine Lance to special summon Phalanx. I'm going to activate the Phalanx to special summon itself. It's a tuner and it's a dragon. It's very, very useful in the deck. Next, we're going to link away the Romulus in order to special summon 2 tokens, always 2 because it's up to the link rating. We summon 2 tokens, then we are going to link away the Phalanx and one of the tokens to summon a copy of Metal Marcher, which will allow us to summon any tuner in our graveyard, which will be the Whitestone of Legend, so we can once again start abusing them for free Blue Eyes White Dragons. Next, we're going to synchro summon into a copy of Herald of Arclight using the Metal Marcher. Oops, I think I clicked too far. We're going to use it to summon the metal. We're going to use it to summon the Herald. We're going to use Metal Marcher and the token in order to summon a copy of Metal Marcher right there. Metal Marcher is basically anytime if a spell, monster spell, or trap is activated, you can tribute it and then special summon a copy of... You can tribute it and then negate that activation, which is really good. It's basically an Omni Negate. It negates monster spells or traps by tributing itself, but in addition to that, if a card is sent from the deck or from the hand, it's banished instead, which is really good against during your opponent's turn, because it basically, like, you know, shuts down their turn if they're using a deck that relies on the graveyard. Now we're going to link away our copy of Link Cross here and our copy of the Whitestone of Legend. We're going to be able to, first of all, search. It's going to activate, and then yes, we're going to activate the effect of Needle Fiber. And no, we do not want to negate our own monster. So Chainlink 2 is going to be the Needle Fiber. We can summon any of these, Plague Spreader, whatever you want, but I'm going to go for another Whitestone of Legend just to beef up our hand as much as possible. As you can see, we have another Blue Eyes. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to special summon the Predaplan Verde Anaconda. Right there, I'm sure you guys have seen this. We're going to, again, abuse the Blue Eyes to add another copy of Blue Eyes to our hand right there. And now we're going to activate the effect of Predaplan Verde Anaconda. Copy the effect of Polymerization, which is going to be Red Eyes Fusion. Send that to the graveyard to summon a copy of Dragoon by sending Red Eyes and Dark Magician to our graveyard. So that is the end of the combo. We started with 2 cards. We now have 10 cards in our hand. And again, we started with 2 cards, so theoretically we'd have 3 more cards on top of this. So our hand would be just insane right now. But basically, we've dug through our deck. We've done everything we can. We actually even added 2 additional Blue Eyes. We added 2 additional Blue Eyes on top of this just to have free negates over the next few turns for Red Eyes Dragoon. On top of that, we have 2 negates of monster spells or traps. This card can't be destroyed by battle. I mean, it can't be destroyed by card effects or targeted, which is already a pain to deal with. Going second, it destroys 2 cards. And on top of that, like I said, we drew +6. And overall, we have a +8. Which is just incredible. Like I said, off of 2 cards. And this is only the first combo. Let's move on to the second combo right after this. Alright guys, this is our second combo. All you need for this is just a copy of Sage and any free special summon. It doesn't even particularly have to be Sage. As long as you can make a Needle Fiber, you can basically do the combo I'm about to show you. But like I said, you need a copy. The best way to do it is with a Sage and any free special summon. So we're going to summon a copy of Sage, activate Sage in order to search a tuner. The best one to search typically is going to be the Effect Veiler, although you can do it with these 2, no problem. Effect Veiler is the best because if your combo gets interrupted, you could just use it during your opponent's turn, but you can easily just, you know, use one of these. So we're going to search the Veiler, and then we're going to activate the Jackalope. Hopefully Jackalope does not get discarded. I mean, it does get discarded. That way we get to special summon a danger. You can summon any of the dangers. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to do Tsuchinoko, but it literally does not matter which one you summon. So basically that's all you need. Free special summon, which is the Danger Jackalope, and then a copy of Sage. And you can end on this board that I'm about to show you. We're going to link both of them away to go into a copy of Crystron Needle Fiber. We're going to activate the effect of Needle Fiber in order to summon a copy of Whitestone of Legend. And of course, we are going to use that Whitestone of Legend. We're going to link that away to summon a copy of Link Cross. Activate Link Cross using 2 tokens. Summoning 2 tokens. And then we are going to link link a token away and a copy of Whitestone of Legend in order to summon a formula synchron, and we're going to activate the effect. Of course, this is going to be automatic chain link 1, and then we're going to use the formula synchron chain link 2. So we're going to draw a free card, and on top of the drawing the free card, we're going to search Blue Eyes. Just like I've showed before, it's very important, because when you use that Saryuja, you get to put back the Blue Eyes, and basically all your draws are 100% free. We're going to activate the Metal Marcher, or not activate the Metal, we're going to create a Metal Marcher by synchro summoning those two. Activate Metal Marcher in order to special summon the White Stone of Legend, because again, it's just free draws. Now we're going to use these guys. We're going to use the White Stone of Legend in order to summon a copy of LP underneath the Link Cross. We're going to add another copy of Blue Eyes. Now we're going to use the Link Cross and Metal Marcher in order to summon a copy of Protector Whelp. No, we're not going to activate that effect. Now we're going to activate the effect of LP in order to special summon a copy of Starliege Seyfert to our side of the field. Starliege Seyfert lets us send dragons from our field or from our hand to summon to add a monster with that same level, which is incredibly useful. And you can actually combine the monsters. And then on top of that has a really good banishing effect that I'm going to show you later. Now activate the effect of Starliege Seyfert, pick 8, send a Blue Eyes in order to search a copy of Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Now we're going to link away the copy of Seyfert in order to summon a guardragon Pisty. I'm going to summon it right there, because again, these two link monsters still point to this spot. So even though Pisty doesn't point to this spot, we can still use Pisty to summon a card there, which is pretty cool. Next, we're going to summon the Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Make sure that you are using all lights. So Link Cross, Legend, and Synchron. Summon it right here. And then we're going to activate the effect of Chaos Dragon Levianeer, and we're going to special summon our Blue Eyes from our graveyard. Next, we're going to use the Pisty, activate the Pisty in order to summon the White Stone of Legend from our Banish pile, because it can summon from Banish or from the graveyard. Summon that right there. And now we are going to synchro summon the Spirit Dragon right there. It's going to activate an effect, and no, we're not going to activate the Spirit Dragon to negate, because Spirit Dragon can negate graveyard effects, so it should be our own White Stone of Legend. It should be unbelievably stupid. Next, we are going to make a Saryuja using the Destruction Swordsman, LP, Pisty, and the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. All of those. Summon the Saryuja. Definitely activate the Saryuja to draw. We're going to put back, obviously, the Blue Eyes that we don't need, and then just one of the other cards that we draw. Let's just say Impermanence. Put those back to the bottom of our deck. Next, we are going to activate the effect of Saryuja to special summon an effect veiler to our side of the field, or I guess any of those level 1 what are they called? A level 1 tuners that you search with Sage. So it could have been any of those. It doesn't matter if it's effect veiler or not. Now we are going to summon Cloud Castle using these two. So summon it right there. Activate the effect of Cloud Castle on summon. Basically, this lets us special summon a level 9 monster from our graveyard. We're going to activate that in order to summon a copy of Spirit Dragon. So now we have Spirit and the Cloud Castle, and now we can 2 level 9s make a True King of all Calamities that is 3,300 defense. So a pretty big monster there, and pretty tough to deal with. But we're not done yet, because we're going to activate the effect of Starliege Seyfert to bounce the Chaos Dragon Levianeer from our graveyard back to our hand. And this summon is not once per turn. All the effects are once per turn, but the summon is not. So we're going to activate the effect, or we're going to use the summoning condition of the Chaos Dragon Levianeer. We're going to banish, really doesn't matter what, we're going to banish the Destruction Sword, Pisty, and LP, because those are very unlikely that we'll ever use those again. We're going to summon the Chaos Dragon Levianeer again, and we're going to use the Saryuja Skull Dread and the Chaos Dragon Levianeer in order to summon a copy of Union Carrier, and we're going to activate Union Carrier to attach to True King of all Calamities, any dark or worm monster, but we're going to use a dark. We're going to attach the Destruction Buster Sword to that monster, and now this is the end of our board. Like I said, we ended on it. Basically, all we needed for this is a copy of Sage and any free special summon, and we get to end on this beautiful board. If you're not aware of what this does, True King of all Calamities you can activate during your opponent's turn. basically it makes, or during your turn, it makes all monsters on their side of the field an attribute that you select, and then all monsters of that attribute cannot activate, like they cannot activate their effects, which is, or attack, which is really crazy. So basically, let's say you're playing against like a dark deck, even if you're not playing against a dark deck, let's say you're playing against like harpies, for example, and you activate the True King of all Calamities. As soon as they summon any of their harpy monsters, they become dark, and then those harpies can't activate their effects, and they can't, basically they can't activate their effects, and on top of that, they can't attack, which makes it really, really difficult to deal with. On top of that, as you can see here, the True King of all Calamities is 4,300 because of Sir Yugioh and the Union Carrier, and on top of that, they actually cannot special summon from the extra deck because of the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. So they're locked out of their extra deck, and on top of being locked out of their extra deck, all of their monsters on their field are negated, and if they have any monsters in their hand with that same attribute that you called, so let's say you called Wind because you knew you were playing against Harpies, all of their Wind monsters in their hand are also completely, they cannot activate their effects either. So this card is absolutely nuts. On top of that, we drew 4 brand new cards, and remember, we only started with 2 cards. We also additionally, like I said, drew 4 brand new cards, so these could be anything. And on top of this, we also have 3 other cards in our hand. So we have, technically, we went +4, plus we have basically double floodgates, and we went +4, which is pretty crazy off of just 2 cards. And basically, it's one card, one specific card, and any free special summon. So that is combo number 2. Let's get to that. Let's get to the next combo. Alright guys, this is combo number 3. This is going to focus more on like a Blue Eyes invoked build, but if you're a Blue Eyes player, you should know every single variant that you should, just to have the options prepared for yourself. But Blue Eyes invoked is actually a very strong deck because all of the Blue Eyes cards fill the graveyard very quickly, and you can make invoked Mechabas very, very easily. And every time you negate with a invoked Mechaba, every time you discard a stone, you basically get to search another card, and you get to refill your hands constantly. So it's almost like you're discarding and banishing for free. And on top of that, you can make all types of other cards like True King and stuff. But basically, all you need for this combo is 1 random discard, which is going to be represented by impermanence. We're going to have the Melody of Awakening Dragons. This is a very common card to open up. You can either do Melody of Awakening Dragons or a copy of Blue Eyes, an alternative. So pretty common to open that stuff. And then on this side, this can be a Terraforming, an Alistair, or a Magical Meltdown. So you basically have 7 copies of this, and you have a variety of combinations to get to this. You can have like Chaos Space, Alternative, Blue Eyes. You can do a million different ways to get to this. But it's a very, very simple combo. We're going to activate the effect of Meltdown to search a copy of Alistair, the Invoker. Next, we're going to activate the effect of Melody of Awakening Dragon. We're going to ditch the impermanence to add a copy of Alternative and Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now we're going to be able to special summon both of these. Summon the copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon and the alternative, and then we are going to normal summon the copy of Alistair the Invoker, which will allow us to search Invocation to our hand. We're going to link both of these away since they're different attributes and different names, light and dark, and then on top of that, you know, different names. To summon Alistair the Invoker of Madness. He's actually extremely important for this combo. We're going to activate the effect of Invocation in order to summon an invoked Mechaba. We're going to banish the Alistair the Invoker and a copy of Blue Eyes Alternative from our graveyard in order to summon our first invoked Mechaba. And we're going to activate the effect of Alistair the Invoker of Madness. Basically, when a monster is fusion summoned, while you control this card, you can discard a card to either search an Invocation or you can search a Book of Law. And we are not going to activate the effect of Mechaba to negate our own card. We're going to discard that Blue Eyes White Dragon that we searched earlier to add a Invocation to our hand. Next, we're going to activate the effect of Invocation in Graveyard. We're going to shuffle the Invocation back into our deck in order to add the Alistair the Invoker back to our hand. Now you can either, we'll just do it this way, but yeah, you can just activate the Alistair the Invoker to make this 35, and now we can activate the effect of Invocation in order to summon another invoked Mechaba by banishing the Blue Eyes White Dragon and the Alistair the Invoker. So now we have a second invoked Mechaba right here. And now we can just take the two. We can just leave this because remember we still have with 2 cards in our hand. We can just leave this and have 2 invoked Mechabas, which is already a pretty good start. And on top of that, we have the invocation in graveyard and the Alistair in the banish pile. So next turn we have like tons of recursion. But you can either leave these 2 and just have 2 negates because they're not hard once per turns. They're soft once per turns. Or you can just overlay these 2 and then go into a copy of True King of All Calamities, stun our opponent, and then basically OTK the following turn if we wanted to, because it's very, very easy to OTK with this deck. It's just incredibly easy. All you have to do is summon any fusion monster, and then you get a free Book of Law, and then you just get to summon Purgatrio and attack all your opponent's monsters. But yeah, that's all off of just 2 pretty generic cards. We started with, like I said, the Melody or any of those other combinations, or the Magical Meltdown Alistair / Terraforming. Pretty generic, and ends on a, I would say, a pretty reasonable board, all things considered. And actually this plays through Nibiru pretty well, because I'm pretty sure we summoned that our 4th summon was actually a copy of Invoked Mechaba. So this combo is completely like Nibiru proof, which is pretty cool. But this is the going first combo, and let me show you real quick the going second combo, because you can actually OTK with this too, if you wanted to. Alright, so this is the same combo, but it's going second. So as you can see, I just set it to the easiest computer possible. It just summoned like a random monster. But we're going to do the exact same combo with the same 2 starter cards, and I'm basically going to be able to OTK my opponent. We're going to activate the Meltdown. We're going to add Alistair. We're going to obviously grab that Alistair, summon Alistair, search invocation, right there, and then we're going to activate the effect of Melody of Awakening Dragons in order to discard the impermanence to search the alternative and the Blue Eyes White Dragon. And remember, Blue Eyes is really, really good going second. Like, it's good going first, it's even better going second because you have a bunch of things that pop stuff. So we're going to summon the Blue Eyes by the alternative by revealing the regular Blue Eyes. We can activate the effect of alternative to pop the Blazing Impachi or whatever monsters they have. It's basically like a free pop. Then we're going to use the Alistair and the Invoker of Madness. We're going to summon the Alistair the Invoker of Madness using those 2. And now we can activate the invocation to summon a copy of Invoked Mechaba using Alistair and the alternative dragon. So we're going to summon the Invoked Mechaba. And now we're going to activate the effect of Invoker of Madness. No, we're not going to chain our own Invoked Mechaba. So we're going to discard a copy of Blue Eyes in order to add a copy of Invocation. Next, we're going to activate the Invocation Engrave to add back the Invoker, Alistair the Invoker, and shuffle back the Invocation. Here we can, this is actually more important going second because we can activate the Alistair in hand to boost our Invoked Mechaba. And now we can use the Invocation to summon another copy of Invoked Mechaba by banishing the Blue Eyes in graveyard and the Alistair the Invoker in graveyard. Right there. And now we're going to activate the Alistair the Invoker of Madness because it's actually not once per turn at all. Which is pretty nuts to discard another infinite impermanence in order to add a copy of Book of Law. So again, this is all off of basically 2 cards, and then just you can use your hand to do all types of different things. Remember, if you have stones and stuff and you're discarding stones for the cost of any of these things, it doesn't even matter because basically the good thing about the stones is they all replace themselves, which is really, really good. And on top of that, again, this is Nibiru proof because we summoned Invoked Mechaba before our 4th summon. So now we just go to battle phase. We have tons of attacks all ready to go. We have the 3500, the 2500, the 18, and then on top of that we have the Book of Law. So as I can show you here, we're going to attack with the Invoked Mechaba, and then attack with the Invoked Mechaba. And now they're at 2000. We're going to attack with the Invoked Mechaba. I mean the Alistair the Invoker of Madness, and then we can go into the Book of Law, tribute one of our Invoked Mechabas to summon a copy of Purgatrio. And Purgatrio gains 200 for every card your opponent controls. And so even spell cards, even spell trap cards, continuous spells, field spells, everything. 200 for every card they control, and then on top of that, this card can attack all of your opponent's monsters once each. Which is amazing, and on top of that it does piercing, so you are definitely an OTK. So the appropriate way to have done it is to attack with our weak 2500 attack Invoke Mechaba, and then Book of Law into Purgatrio, attack all of their monsters, and then if they're still somehow alive, then you attack with Alistair and Invoker of Madness in the Mechaba. And on top of that, you have like a negate playing under all of this, because you have the Invoke Mechaba to negate in case they have some sort of cards to like respond to you or something. And then you just attack for the Invoke Mechaba, and just like that, it's game. But yeah, that's basically it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, just because I do produce quite a lot of Blue Eyes content. And if you want to see, if there's anything you specifically want to see, please let me know. But that is basically it. Thank you for watching, and like I said, enjoy your day, guys.